All furnaces in RVs are controlled by a wall thermostat, much the same that you would have in your home. It starts with a very basic analog model. So let's start with this basic analog model. Bill, give us a rundown.
Yeah, pop the cover off of that. This is heat only, analog. There's really not much to it. You got a lever here that adjusts the heat. You can turn it on or off. It actually even has its own built-in off switch here, so in case you're in storage and it decides to come on. This is a heat anticipator. It keeps the furnace from short cycling, basically. Usually they're set at about 1.2 or 1.5.
But these anticipators don't make a huge difference, I don't think.
Yeah, it's really rare that anybody ever even bothers with it.
Yeah, but this is your very, very basic unit. I mean, look at the temperatures here. I mean, we don't even have numeric numbers here. I mean, it's
yeah. And what do you tell your wife? Hey, honey, set it on number 3 slot tonight. I mean, there's no temperature at all.
Right.
And one other thing I might add too: these things are really easy to troubleshoot. If the furnace is not coming on, you check the fuse of the furnace is good, you're not sure if it's a thermostat or in the furnace, all you need to do is jumper the 2 wires here. The wires come to each one of these terminals here. Take the wires off, or just take a jumper wire, jumper them together. There's a delay of about a minute. If it comes on, then you know you got a problem with the thermostat.
So you get up in the middle of the night, your thermostat went away. You can just jumper the wires. At least you're going to get some heat. It'd be uncomfortable because you're going to get up and down all night long. But,
yeah.
Hey, but at least you're going to have some heat.
Or a down comforter, that might be easier.
Or a down comforter would be a lot. Or maybe go to a different bar. Okay, let's go on over here to the next step. This is an analog, unit that also incorporates air conditioning. It's a little bit more sophisticated. Take us through this a little bit.
Yeah. Basic analog heat and cool. It does a little bit more. Not only does it do heat, but it even has an automatic setting, so you can set it to where the air conditioner will come on and off rather than have the compressor cycle and the fan run all the time. So this is connected to the air conditioner and the furnace. Temperature on the side here, a little bit better control. You can actually set some kind of a basic temperature.
That's good. Then we have the digital models here. One of them, I guess, is Coleman, and the other one is Dometic. Take us through those.
This one's made by Coleman. This one's made by Dometic. Way more accurate. They're digital readouts, so you can set a fine temperature, and they do run the furnace and the air conditioner as well. Not only that, but these have 2 zones. Some of them have 3 or 4 zones, so you can run both your forced air furnace front and back, air conditioner front and back.
Right. So when we talk about zone control, there are remote sensors that are strategically placed throughout the rig, so you don't have to put multiple thermostats in to run the furnace.
Yep, and these are actually, believe it or not, you could retrofit these. You'd probably have to change the wiring. This one, as you can see, has several wires. This one just uses a phone cord that actually plugs in the back. You can buy kits that actually have this comfort control as well as a control box that fits up in the air conditioner.
But keep in mind that if you do that, you're going to have to run some wire, and you may have to go in cabinets and walls, but you can do it. It's a lot easier with a phone cable than it is with a multiple plug-in wire.
Much easier, yeah.
Okay, you know what, Bill? Let's go inside the rig and let's do a little diagnosis on what we need to do if we have a failure in the thermostat and or the control box.
Okay, sounds good.
It's evening, it's getting cool, you flip on the thermostat, you want the temperature to come up to about 70 degrees inside your rig, so the furnace has to come on. Nothing happens. Hey Bill, what are we gonna do?
Well, in this case, we're gonna test the thermostat here, both the digital furnace and air conditioner thermostats and the digital, both the digital and the analog have fuses inside of them. Okay. So let me pull this cover off here.
So the fuse would be our first check.
Yeah, this is going to be our first point of attack. It's easy. You pop the cover off. Now, there's no ground here, so I had to go into the closet here and pull a ground at one of the lights in there.
Right, and also this one here, this is for demonstration purposes. This one here is actually working, but we're going to demo what would happen if there was nothing in that readout.
Right, it's not defective, but we're going to show you how to go through the paces. So here's the fuse here. Okay. It's pretty easy to get to. Now, we're going to use a voltmeter. You can use a test light, but really I'd suggest using the multimeter because you want to make sure there's adequate voltage there as well as testing the fuse. you could test the fuse with the continuity side of the multimeter, but in this case, we're going to check voltage. And so I'm going to hit the top of it here. What do you got there, Bob?
Okay, we got 13.39.
And then at the bottom?
And we have the same thing. So the fuse is fine. We have, the voltage is great. I guess the next step is to get into the control box up on the ceiling.
Right.
All right, let's try it. Okay, Bill, we're going into the plenum up here, which is the return air plenum for the air conditioner, so we can look into the control box to find out whether or not we have a problem with power, both 120 volt AC and 12 volt DC getting into that control box.
Yeah, and most of the air conditioners that are ducted, that have the return air grill, that control box is up in there. Some of them aren't.
Okay, now we have to caution everybody that, you know, when we're dealing with live 120 volt power, you have to be very careful. So if you're not comfortable with testing out circuits with 120 volts, don't do it. Go to your dealer. Meanwhile, let's take off this grill here and try it out.
I think most of the customers will probably be familiar with this return air grill anyway, because your filter is up in here that has to be cleaned annually. So this is a good time to clean it if you haven't done it.
Right, that's a really good point.
So
okay, you need to get.
Let me get up in here. Yeah,
it's kind of back there a little bit. It's not exactly
this one is
totally accessible.
It's got a couple of wing nuts that hold it on. This one's a little bit tougher, but the domestics are right down where they're easy to get to.
Yeah, well. Okay, I'll get out of your way here.
So,
all right, great.
This is live, so make sure you know what you're doing, or don't do this at all.
Gonna take off.
These are your wires coming in. This feeds from the upper unit here, the big one, the green control one. This is a freeze control. It goes up to the condenser, and here's your wires that come from the thermostat, and then of course here's your AC in. So let me pull the back cover off of this, and I can just show you briefly. There's really not much in here other than it makes a really good port to test the AC. So put the meter on AC.
Okay, you're gonna try AC first, okay?
Yeah, let me unhook from ground here real quick. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that we've got AC. So I'm gonna run across. Now what do we have?
We have 123 volts, so we're in great shape.
Okay,
there.
so we do have AC here.
We do.
Let me put this back to the ground.
To the,
turn that back
DC.
to DC.
All right, we'll check for a 12 volt DC power.
So 2 of these wires should have power here. We should have power at this one.
Then we don't.
Actually, you know what? We won't until until it's on. Let me turn it on.
Yeah. Let's try now.
Now we should have power at both of these. You have power there?
No.
How about here?
We do.
So the control box is functioning properly.
Okay, that's good. All right, now inside here we have a circuit board and we have some relays, and I think that gets beyond the testing of the typical owner. You go to a dealer, they have instrumentation that can help you get that diagnosed. So, once you did establish that you have 12 volt power and you have 120 volt power, you've already established that the thermostat's working fine. The next step is to suspect that we have control. We have a control board, or we have, which is the circuit board, or we have some relays that have gone bad, and now it's time to bring it to your dealer.